Yo, what's going on, everybody? You've seen the thumbnail, you've read the title, and today I want to talk about the Vanguard Alpha. I want to talk about the pros of the Alpha, the cons of the Alpha, and try to leave everything that is Champion Hill specific completely out of this video, because if I mention Champion Hill in this video, oh, I'm just going to go off on a tangent about how I think the game mode is fundamentally flawed from the ground up, and I will make an entire video on that, trust me. I just want to play it more to see if I can maybe try and see what Sledgehammer was attempting to do with this game mode, because when I look at it right now, I just see a very, very flawed game mode. So with that being said, yeah, let's just talk about the gameplay and Vanguard and stuff like that. You get the gist of it. Let's get into the video. Alright, so I guess we'll start off with the pros, and yes, there is actually pros to this game. Oh my god, I am actually being positive for once. I think this game is actually decent. The first pro that I have to mention right off the bat is this is on Modern Warfare's engine. And the reason why this is such a good pro is because not only does Modern Warfare's engine look amazing, run amazing, and feel amazing, it runs well on a PS4. Like Cold War, every single time I load into a match, or like half the time I load into a match, the game is just black, or I can see through every wall and I can't see any textures for like 30 to 45 seconds at the beginning of a match. I don't have that problem with Vanguard because they're using Modern Warfare's engine, which is so well optimized that even a day one PS4, like my PS4 is so old, I have to literally take screws to take just the top of it off. Like I can't just slide it off like you can on newer PS4 models. It's that old of a PS4, and yet it runs smooth. It runs buttery smooth, and it runs really, really well, which is just an amazing pro because one, I don't have a PS5, two, my PS4 is extremely old, so having the Modern Warfare engine that is just well optimized that it can run on a bad piece of hardware is great. And I know I said this video is going to be gameplay specific, but just having the MW engine, yeah, it improves gameplay because not having like an old PS4 hardware drop down to like visibly 20 FPS like Cold War does from time to time is great. The gameplay is fundamentally better. Like you would rather play, I think everybody would say this, they'd rather play on 120 FPS than 60 FPS. They'd rather play on 120 FPS than 30 FPS, right? You'd rather play on a higher frame rate than a lower frame rate. It's just pretty much obvious. So not having frame drops, not having the game just for some reason not load graphics for the entire beginning portion of it, just makes the gameplay experience that much better. And on top of this, with actual gameplay here, recoil is back. Like when you shoot your gun in this game, you actually can see recoil. Now, even in this gameplay, just look at when I shoot my gun, there's actual recoil. Obviously, I'm mounting right here in the gameplay, so there's not a lot of it. But when you're shooting your gun, it actually kicks, which, you know, adds an element of skill to gunfights because you have to control your recoil. And on top of that, flinch is also back. When you get shot, you actually kick up, and you kick up a hefty amount that every engagement actually feels like it takes skill, and especially longer range engagements take a little bit more skill unless you're using the bar, which I'll get into that gun later. I think the bar is stupid and needs a nerf, but nonetheless, it makes long range engagements take skill because you gotta control that recoil and you gotta control that flinch, and it makes, although the game having a faster time to kill, it doesn't feel bad because you have that recoil and you have that flinch. So gunfights feel like they actually take skill, unlike Modern Warfare's extremely fast time to kill where there was pretty much no recoil and the flinch was very minimal, that it didn't really matter. Gunfights didn't take skill, it was just pretty much whoever shot first won the gunfight. Now, it obviously sounds like I'm really enjoying this game from this part, and it's because I am. I think the gameplay of this game is actually really, really fun. I think the recoil patterns are interesting and everything like that. The game seems really, really enjoyable for me, and I'm actually enjoying it, obviously aside from the flaws of Champion Hill alone. But with that being said, of course there is some cons, and the very first con I have to bring up is one you probably all expected: mounting. Why did they have to bring mounting back? Like, it's not as bad as MW's mounting, and I will give it credit for that. MW's mounting definitely felt way, way worse than this does, but why is it even here? Maybe it's because mounting, you know, there's just not a lot of spots to mount your gun in Champion Hill right now, so maybe that's why mounting doesn't feel bad, but strafing while mounting is especially dumb, because I found you can trigger rotational aim assist on console. If you don't know what that is, then you probably just don't play on controller, but when you can trigger your rotational aim assist while minimizing your recoil because you're strafing while mounting, it is probably one of the most broken things you can do in this game, and I don't see that many people utilizing it. But like next time you go and mount on a long piece of cover, mount your gun and strafe when you're shooting at your enemy to trigger that rotational aim assist, and you pretty much cannot miss. It is so insanely strong in this game, and it's something that they have to nerf. Like if you're gonna have strafing while mounting, Sledgehammer games, do not let rotational aim assist be turned on when you're doing that, because oh my god, it makes it so unbelievably stupid and is going to infuriate so many people once they actually start figuring this out. The next kind of con here is that the time to kill, like I said, is a little fast, but at the same time you have flinch, you have recoil, so it's not that bad, I guess. The other con I do have is that there's no classic minimap. And again, maybe this is a Champion Hill specific thing. Maybe 6v6 will have a classic minimap, but not having that classic minimap is already a yikes. I want to be able to see people who shoot an unsuppressed weapon on my minimap. Granted, you can get a suppressor very early in Champion Hill, but I want to be able to see that because it's just how COD works. Every poll online, so many people are vouching for a classic minimap. Again, if you saw my Will Sledgehammer Games Listen video, then you would have seen that even a biased account like Modern Warzone, 80% of people wanted that classic minimap over the MW minimap, yet they brought back the MW minimap. It just doesn't make any sense. Along with this, if you also saw that video, you would have seen that so many people are asking for Dead Silence to be a perk. And currently, and this again could be a Champion Hill specific thing, Dead Silence is not a perk. Obviously, we have leaks that it's going to be a field upgrade, but as of right now, it's not a perk. Now, granted, footsteps are pretty quiet in this game until you're about 5 to 7 feet away from people, and then it just rewards the player who's not moving. If you watch Nero Cinema's video, pretty much I'm saying the exact same thing here. It rewards people who don't move to not have Dead Silence here, and because it's like 5 to 7 feet away, if you really pay attention and you kind of play the game slow, you can hear people who are just about to come on you, flick around, jump shot, and just gun somebody down instantly. It's really stupid, and I don't know why we don't have Dead Silence. I think maybe, and I'm hoping it's a Champion Hill specific thing, but nonetheless, just Sledgehammer Games, please, please, please give us Dead Silence as a perk. It is a necessity, and I don't care. It needs to be in every single COD game. Alright, end of discussion. It just needs to be there. It promotes rushing. It actually makes people want to play aggressive. Next up, and probably the last thing, which is just kind of a pet peeve of mine, is health regen. Health regen in this game is just way, way too slow. It feels like once you win a gunfight, you just have to kind of sit there and wait, and wait, and wait some more while you just... Yeah, you know, we're still sitting here, we're still waiting. It feels like it takes forever to regen your health. It feels like if you barely scrape out and win a gunfight, that you're just stuck there sitting and just waiting endlessly for your health to regen. And it takes what otherwise would be a pretty fast-paced game, because the sprint out time is really good, which I should have mentioned in my pros, into a slow game, because you have to wait forever for your health to finally regen. With that being said, I don't really think I have much else. It's kind of just... I guess first impressions, I guess kind of everything that I can get that isn't gameplay specific. Obviously, like I said, I have some problems with the Champion Hill mode alone, but I will make that into another video, because then this video would be probably 15 minutes long. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts about Vanguard are down below. Even your thoughts about the Champion Hill game mode, the gameplay, you know, anything like that, man. Comments just help me in the YouTube algorithm, to be honest. With that being said, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like, sub to the channel, turn on post notifications, feel free to join my Discord down below. I have a video suggestions folder if you want to suggest any content to be on the channel, and if I like it, I'll make a video about it. With that being said, you can also follow me on Twitter, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. Peace out.
We're done here. Stretch your legs. You just bagged a round. Nice work, soldier.